earmark for education in the income tax.
It's part of the proposal to remove the state portion of the sales tax on food. Fox 13 News political reporter Ben Winslow has the latest from Utah's Capitol Hill.
This has been the subject of some intense negotiations up here on Capitol Hill, and it's possible they reach a resolution by the time the legislative session wraps up next week.
But what we tried to do was to listen.
Senate Majority Whip Ann Milner has been negotiating with education stakeholders about the proposed constitutional amendment removing the earmark for education on the income tax. It's part of a deal legislative leaders have offered to remove the state portion of the sales tax on food, but only if voters approve that amendment change. Legislative leaders argue it's necessary to address budget issues. Sales tax pays for a lot of government services, but it's not as stable of a money source as the income tax is. But now,
We're working very hard.
Senator Milner says they're talking about new terms.
Income tax still would be used for public education, that we would provide some guarantee around funding growth and an inflation factor. So, and putting that into the Constitution so that they know that's being funded. And so we've built some guarantee in it. We've built some constitutional protection in it, which are two of the things that they've asked for. But at the end, it says after that, so they're the priority, and that's then we would be able to use funds for other state needs.
That might bring education groups around to supporting it, but they're still negotiating. The Utah Education Association says it continues to oppose the bill in its current form. The state's largest teachers union says, "Our goal has always been to ensure education funding in Utah is prioritized, protected, and adequate through constitutional language and guarantees. We are gathering input from our members to better understand how we can best represent educator concerns regarding the proposal to eliminate the constitutional requirement." Senate Democrats have also been involved in the talks.
We have been very much a part of these dialogues, and our feedback has been sought throughout and heard, I feel like.
But the clock is ticking on a deal as the bills on education funding and the sales tax on food continue to advance in the legislature.
And my goal is to get there by the end of the session.
The good thing is we have a very short legislative session. The bad thing is we have a very short legislative session.
Again, removing the sales tax on food is contingent upon voters approving that constitutional amendment change. That would go before voters in 2024. On the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
A bill bringing back photocopy